Mom and Dad, do you think I should wear this shirt? Hey everyone, it's Natalie, also known as Knitty Natty. Welcome to episode 123 of the Love and Stitches podcast. Today is Tuesday, November 16th, I think. I almost said December because I'm already thinking ahead to what's coming up next. But we're just halfway through the month, whether it's the 16th or the 17th. I honestly have no idea. Where's my phone? It will tell me. Let's see. 16th, I was correct. It is 5 o'clock in the evening, which means the sun has been already down for half an hour. It's completely pitch black dark outside. I've got all my lights up and I need to learn my lesson and start doing these earlier in the day. This is actually going to be one of the last podcasts of the year, if you can believe it. I think this is going to be the second to last podcast because next week is Thanksgiving. And then the week after that, it's already December. And in December, I am doing Vlogmas. And Vlogmas is where I upload a video every single day from December 1st to the 25th. And it is a shorter video. It's a vlog kind of showing you what we're doing that day. It's really, really fun. I know it sounds like if you haven't watched Vlogmas before, it can sound like, why would that be interesting at all? But for some reason, it just is. And I'm not saying oh, mine's super interesting or anything. I think people do enjoy watching mine. I love watching other people's Vlogmases too. So yeah, it'll be a video anywhere from 5, 10 to 15 minutes every single day. I'll open up my advents every day. I'll kind of show you my daily routine. We'll do some knitting, of course, some crochet. Since this is our first Christmas here in New York City, we'll go around the city and do some different things. I think that's going to be really fun. We're going to be traveling for 2 whole weeks during the Vlogmas period. So you'll get to travel with us. Toaster's coming. We're going to Florida. We're going to Tennessee. It's going to be a lot of fun this year. So I'm very excited for it. So yeah, I think we'll have one more podcast after this because uploading every single day, it's kind of like you're going to see all my projects and we don't need a podcast anyway. And it's the perfect time to kind of get reset for the new year anyway. So I have some catching up to do because I think it's been 2 weeks since we had our last podcast. Let me tell you what I'm wearing first. So I am wearing my Musselburgh hat. This is a really simple pattern by Isolde Teague. This was super, super popular last year or early this year. I can't remember. Whenever Kay, the crazy sock lady, knit hers, it just blew up in popularity. It's a really great way to use a skein of sock yarn that maybe is a little bit too precious for socks. It uses up more yarn, I think, or just about the same amount of yarn as a pair of socks. And so it's wonderful. You can do so many things. It's basically this huge, here, I'll take it off. I'm kind of using it to also cover up my oily hair that I'm going to wash tonight. But it is a double layered piece that you do in this big long tube. And so what a lot of people will do is they'll take their sock leftovers and they'll do half of it in one color and half in the other, because then what you do is you fold it up inside itself. So you just tuck one end inside the other, like so. And I'm going to get my little points to match because that makes things a little bit better. And then if you do 2 different colors, you'll basically have 2 different hats because you can flip it, if you do half and half, or you could stripe. I mean, you can do all kinds of things. It's just a really, really great hat pattern. I've been wearing it a ton because it is getting really cold outside. It's basically in the 40s every single day, all parts of the day now. And where we are, it's super, super windy. And so I need a hat. So really, I'm covering up my hair, but also I've been wearing this a lot. I don't usually wear it inside, but for you, I will. I'm also wearing my Butterswatch cardigan, which is one of my Rhinebeck sweaters, and it is a pattern that I designed with the Bellish app. I have a ton of notes on my Ravelry page here on how you can recreate this, but the good news is that Bellish and I are working together to get this pattern out in a little more formal way, but that's going to be coming in the new year. So stay tuned for news on that. Also wearing my Rhinebeck shirt. I'm just all knitty today, intentionally for the podcast. You're welcome. I got dressed at 5 o'clock for you. Okay, let's talk about knitting. I have a massive finished object to show, and it is my shawlography. It has been hanging out back here on my chair. I haven't really gotten proper finished object photos of it yet. I really need to do that with Kent. But I did get like one picture of me and Toaster where I'm like stretched out to show just how big this thing is. But it is done. I did not quite finish well, you know what? I didn't spoil this, so I'm hoping that you have seen the finished photos by now, because it's been 2 weeks, I think, or has it been a week and a half? I don't remember, but it's been a while since the final clue came out, and I really wanted to finish a week after the final clue came out, because that would be 4 weeks, and I ended up finishing, I think, 1 or 2 days. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 days past the 4 full weeks. And I am so happy with that. Like, that is the best I've ever done with these mystery knit-alongs, so I am super pleased. We had a ton of fun in our shawlography Discord the whole time. It was just really great. So here is my finished shawlography. It turned out really good. I was really worried that I wouldn't honestly like it, because the peachy color that's here and the dark pink, to me, fight each other, and I wish I had just went with one or the other, but I wanted to have 6 colors, and 6 colors I have. So it turned out really, really nice, and I'm just super proud of myself for finishing it. Now, if I saw this shawl like now, would I pick it to knit? Probably not, but it's something about doing like the mystery and doing it along with people and learning all these new stitches. Like, you're kind of, if you commit, there's dog hair everywhere. If you commit to doing the mystery shawl, then you're kind of forced to go through all these stitches that you wouldn't otherwise knit. And that's the fun for me. It's like the process of it, of doing all of those different stitches. So I think it turned out really cute. I think I'm gonna probably wear it like this, like a scarf, and it'll be really cozy for the winter. I did have it around my shoulders earlier today because I was just wearing the t-shirt, and it honestly kept me decently warm. Okay, so let's talk about my yarns here. I actually had not updated them fully on Ravelry the whole time I've been talking about it, so I finally did do that. So my Ravelry page is completely updated with all my yarns. I kind of wanted to show you what I had left over though, because I know a lot of people made this and they have a lot of yarn left over too. So my absolute favorite one is this, and it is a yarn from Hooker's Corner, and I got this yarn at Bliss Yarns a while ago, way before she like took a break from dyeing because of the horrible fires in California, and so I've had this for a long time. It's called Check Yourself. I love this so much, and I love how it looked with some of the other colors, especially how it looks with the darkest gray that I have. So I am planning to use this for something special. So I'm gonna set it aside. I'll come back and talk about that after I show the other ones. I don't have a lot of this yarn left because this actually came from a 400 gram ball. I just wound off some of it. So I actually have a ton of this left. This is all that I have of what I wound off, and I don't have the label. This is Miss Babs Katahdin, and I can't remember the color off the top of my head, but it's in my Ravelry page. So I'm also gonna use it with this later on. And then this yarn, you can see how much of a full skein I have left here. This is, oh shoot, I think I don't have a label for this one either. This one is Suburban Stitcher, some kind of like stone related thing. Anyway, I have a ton of these skeins because I got 6 of them to make a sweater. And so I have a ton of this. So my plan for at least 3 of the colors that I use in shawlography, only one was a single skein. This was a huge skein, and this I have 6 skeins of. So my plan is to make a sweater with all 3 of these together. So much harder to see in this light. There we go. So I will, of course, use this. Well, I guess this is not obvious because I do have a lot of this yarn. I will use this one as the majority of the sweater, and then I'm going to use these 2 for a color work portion. So I will hopefully have enough of this to use it basically all up. And then I will use a little bit of this because it's like the outline, so that, because these two right next to each other I don't think are contrasting enough, but this with this outlining the color work against this I think will be beautiful. And that sweater that I want to make is called Prismatic by Wool and Pine. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but that's what I am planning for those yarns. So when I finally put this away, I'm going to somehow put those together and plan for that sweater. So that's one of my plans. Okay, so here's some of the other yarns I used. Emma's yarn. This is the first time when I got this yarn. It's the first and only time I've seen Emma's yarn at a store. This was my like lavender color. I really like this color, but now I've been hearing about it everywhere. It's they are based out of Florida. Yes, hand dyed in Florida, and apparently everyone loves this stuff. And so I had no idea. So it's a great yarn. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this yet, but I really like it, and it's a lot of yarn. I haven't really weighed these yet, but I don't know. Okay, and then my last ones, my ones that fought each other, my dark pink and my peach. Love them both separately, do not love them together. I just don't think that they work together. My pink is of course my favorite. It is from Nerd String. I'm showing all of these because I haven't shown them since I started the shawl. There we go, Nerd String, and it's called Hotter. I have quite a bit of this left, more than the others. So this will probably go back into stash. What I will do sometimes, and I might end up doing this with the purple, what I do a lot of times with my leftovers is I will split them into 20 grams and 20 grams. I will set 20 grams aside for myself for scrappy projects, and the other 20 grams I will set aside. I'll put it in like a craft paper bag with the information, what project I made, what yarn it is, and I've been collecting this and saving it to do a like advent swap with somebody or an advent giveaway. Not this year, maybe next year. I'm starting to have quite a lot. And then this one, the peach, I have quite a lot left too. I didn't, you can see the other ones I balled back up. I didn't do with these because there's so much of them left. I'm pretty sure I can just take them out of the, these are the float tote cups and just use them like that. But this was botanical yarns, and it was called Hibiscus. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this because I don't think I'm gonna wear this color on its own. So this one might get split up into scrappies, but I'm gonna deal with that another day. I just wanted to show you, you know, that giant shawl. Of course I had 6 colors, so I have maybe a little bit more left than the average person because I had one more color going in there, but so much yarn left over, and it's kind of tired of working with these colors, but I'm gonna try to do something at least with some of those yarns and get them used up. My big 2022 goal is to eliminate my stash finally. I've been dwindling it down, and I am starting to get to the point where I think it's doable in 1 year. Maybe not by knitting with all of it, but by also like knitting with it and giving it away. So that's kind of what's coming up here. Okay, that was my finished object. Let's talk about whips. Oh, that's what I didn't grab. Okay, hang on one second. So I did some organizing over the weekend, and I set aside some projects and said, I'm not gonna focus on these. They're just gonna be put on pause. They're put in hibernation. And so I like kind of hid them for myself. And this is one of those projects, but I have worked on it since the last time I podcasted. So I wanted to show you. This is my spooky socks from Moonglow Yarn Company. The yarn is from Moonglow Yarn Company. I think, yes, I have it back here. Moonglow. Is this one? Oh no, this is from my sweater that I'm going to show in a second, but that's okay. Same company, Moonglow Yarn Company. And this is the Haunted Rose Garden set that she did in October. So these are my October socks. It's now midway through November, and this is still my first sock, and I'm not quite done. I just started on the toe decreases. I believe I was right here the last time that we looked at this. Man, this is so fussy with this lighting. So I am using the pattern Knitting with Besties. There's 2 patterns in there. The one I'm using is the plaid blanket socks, and it is by Dana Rae Makes, and I've adapted it a little bit. So first, let me untangle this. First, I did the pattern up here. So it's like amazing texture pattern, and I changed out my colors for each of these different sections. You could just do this with 2 colors too. She originally had it designed for Mandy's Makings Share a Pair. And then I decided that, you know, while I loved this, I wanted to make it go faster on the foot. So I have just been doing stripes on the foot. And to be honest, this could look so good for the entire sock, right? I think it looks so cute. So I'm going to make my other sock matching, of course, with this at the top and then the stripes in the foot. But I think it would look so cute just to stripe the whole foot like this. I'm knitting over all my ends so that I don't have very many ends to weave in later on, because that would be a huge, huge pain. So I am knitting over those, and I have just started the last little bit of orange here. Is my last orange stripe, and I've just started the toe decreases. So this sock is actually really close to done, but because of all the other projects I have going on that I want to finish first, I've decided to set these aside. So I'm not like officially working on those right now. Okay, what else? Oh yes, my long summer cardigan. I am starting to make some real progress on this one. My goal, as I've said, is to finish it by the end of the year, and I can do it. That's my plan. So here is my long summer cardigan. It's starting to get to just a cardigan length, not quite long yet. This is also Moon Glow Yarn Company. That's actually this label here is the main color. Moon Glow Yarn Company, Aspen is the main color. And the pinks are the Love and Stitches fade set. You can really see it fading there. It's so much fun. I am now I've just finished the 5th color section. I'm working on the stockinette here. I have done a lot already today. I really haven't done that much since 2 weeks ago, which is down here, but then I'm using this little pumpkin pie marker to mark every single day. I don't know where this is from. I think they're both from Deladino, but she's no longer making them right now. So let me move. You know what? I might completely change out this marker. I like to change out my markers every once in a while, you know, just to do something fun and a little more seasonal. I could get out a Christmas marker. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'll pick later. But I'm using the pumpkin pie marker to move it every single day. And I am doing, this week I'm doing 10 rows per day. What's that? I must have spilled something on this project. I'm doing 10 rows per day for the next like 2 weeks to finish the body. Then I'm going to be working on the sleeves and the band, and I want to get all of this done before the end of the year, but really it would be even better if I could get it done before we travel in December, which is mid-December. So I have this like whole thing written out in my phone where you can see I've checked off like Monday and Tuesday, but I already finished my goal for today, which I'm really proud of myself for doing. I had an event earlier where I could knit, which was great. So I've already finished it for today, but I'm doing 10 rows per day, then 10 rows per, anyway, trying to get this thing done. So hopefully you'll see a lot of progress in the next podcast. And then it might not be till the beginning of the year that I can show the finished one in a podcast. But you know, when I'm taking this podcast break in December, I will still be uploading to YouTube every single day. It just won't be a formal podcast. So you'll see all the progress then, of course, and on Instagram. I have 2 new projects since we last talked. Look, I have a baby bag. These are Black Pearl Magic. I've got the clear one and now I've got the pink one. They're so much fun. I don't know, you kind of have to follow her on Instagram, Black Pearl Magic, to see when she's updating, but somebody grabbed this one for me at Kegapalooza, which was one of the Rhinebeck adjacent events, and I was like, if they have one, grab me one or sign me up for one, I'll pay you for it. And they ended up being able to get one for me, which I was like, thank you. Thank you, Alicia. It was so fun. All right, so I am knitting on some helical socks. So let me explain. I don't know what these 2 yarns are. I know that the person who sent these to me wrote a note of what the yarns were, and I have the note. Actually, I can see it right there. I just didn't get it out. So I'll have to do that. I'll have to update my Ravelry page. Okay, back up. There we go. So these 2 yarns are from a Share a Pair swap that we did in the Love and Stitches membership back in the summertime. It was summer, maybe it was early this fall. So I sent 50 grams of 2 different colors to somebody, and then she sent 50 grams of 2 different colors back to me, so we could essentially share a pair of yarn, actually 2 pairs. And so I started these socks. I started one from the cuff down with blue or teal cuffs. And then I started one from the toe up with pink. So they're kind of going to be fraternal twins. And I have them both attached here to the toe up sock right now because I am doing helical knitting, which means I am doing one stripe of each color, but I'm using the helical technique so that I don't have to carry the yarn up one side. Instead, I am kind of letting the yarns chase each other around. I talk about helical knitting in almost every single podcast, I feel like, but it's a really great technique. Definitely look it up. It's worth it when you're doing single, like if you're alternating yarns in the round or if you're doing single row stripes. So this is another project that I started, but I'm like, not a priority. So we are putting it back into the bag and we will see it after all of our knitting that needs to be done is done. Okay, I have one more project, one more new project, and this one should be done before the next podcast. And I actually have it inside out because it's mostly pearls, so I found it a little more comfortable to knit, not inside out necessarily, but like I'm looking at the wrong side as I go around instead of having it fall like that. It doesn't make a difference in the knitting. Okay, so this is I have to look at this, the Apiarist Cowl. It's just called Apiarist, and it's by Claire Borchardt, and she's Ottoman Indigo, if you know who that is. She's a yarn dyer. It's a free pattern, and it is a beautiful cowl that I am making as a gift. So pretty. I really, really like this. So the yarn that I'm using, I don't even have it in a cozy. One, because I ran out, but 2, because I'm like, I'm going to make this so fast that I'm not even going to need a cozy. It doesn't even have a project bag. I'm just going to like get it done. So I am using this yarn that I got a couple of years ago in Oregon. It is from Soft Horizon Fibers. I couldn't even find this in Ravelry to tag it, but they have the name of the alpaca. It's an alpaca yarn that it came from, and it was a baby alpaca named Cutie, which I think is so adorable. I think it's about a DK weight because of the weight and yardage, but I realized that this pattern was supposed to have a DK weight held with the mohair, and I'm just holding a single strand of alpaca, which gives it that fuzzy look, but mine might come out like slightly smaller. When I block it, I'm planning to give it a little bit of a stretch, but I think it'll be just the perfect single loop cowl. I'm actually getting really close to the end. I started this on Saturday night. It's now Tuesday evening, and I don't even think I worked on it yesterday. So it's been, this has been an experiment for me to like singularly focus on one project. Like I worked on this all weekend, and then yesterday and today I just worked on Long Summer Cardigan, and I was like, oh, if I just work on one project, I can pretty easily meet my goals. So now that I finished Long Summer Cardigan's 10 rows for the day, I'm going to be working on this tonight when I have knit night and bachelorette night, and we'll see, maybe I can even finish it tonight, and then I just have to like, maybe I can pull out one of my socks that I need to get finished that I was like setting aside. I don't know, this is like a new thing for me to kind of one goal at a time, do one thing at a time, and I'm kind of amazed at how I get stuff done faster. Normally, this is where I would do the Ask Me section, but actually I have closed the Ask Me thread on Ravelry for a few reasons. So, one, I was getting really behind on the questions. So when I would be answering questions on the podcast, I would be answering them from like 4 weeks prior, and then the podcast wouldn't go up for a week. So basically I was like 5 weeks behind answering all of the questions, and I'm like, this is not really that helpful for at least this specific person. A lot of you have said, no, I love the Ask Me part of the podcast because it gives me like so many things I didn't know. I learned so much from it, and I totally understand that. So that's just a part of why I've decided to change things for a bit. The other part is that I just wanted something fresh for the podcast. I do it takes quite a lot of planning to plan that part of the podcast, whereas the rest is pretty quick and easy for me to plan and film. And sometimes I don't even feel like, even though I spend time planning it, that I answer the questions as fully as I would like to. So anyway, mostly it's just that I need a change, and it's not like I'm saying I'm never going to bring back the Ask Me section. It is possible that I will bring it back at some date in the future. So right now, we're not going to have anything for this segment of the podcast, but starting in the new year, I am going to be introducing a new segment or two or more to the podcast. I got lots of lovely ideas on Instagram for what I can do. I can't even think of any right now, but I got so many good ones. I haven't fully decided on what I'm going to do, but I think I might do sort of a rotation or pick two small things that I can do every single week and share with you updates in lieu of an Ask Me thread. And then somebody said, you know, you could do the new segments for the podcast every week, but then maybe once a month, you could still do an Ask Me video just on its own. And I really like that idea. What do y'all think about that? I think that that might actually be better for me, because then it's not like week to week I'm having to go through different questions, but just once a month I'm sitting down and I'm answering questions. Then I can answer knitting questions, crochet questions, personal questions, questions about relevant things like make-alongs that we're doing, etc. That might be a better fit for me, and it would still work for y'all as an audience. So let me know what you think about that. I really liked that idea. That seemed a little bit more manageable for myself to keep up with on the daily. So no Q&A questions, but I did catch up on every single one that was still left in the thread before I closed the thread. And that video was posted last week, I think, instead of a podcast. So I will make sure to link it. So if you did ask a question in the Ask Me thread and you've been waiting for a podcast to see your answer, it's in that final video that's like the final Q&A. It's all in there. I did answer those questions. So with that, I'm not adding a new segment right now because I don't want to start something until going into the new year. So we're going to wait on that, but we are going to do some news. So first up, the fall garment make-along is now over. It ended on November 6th, and then we had a celebration party on the 7th, and I gave away all of the final prizes. So if you're wondering where are the prize winners, they're all in that video. I think every single one of them have already contacted me. Y'all are so good about that. It makes it so much easier for me. So go watch that if you want to see the final celebration. We had so much fun. It was something completely different. We did a Zoom where I had a limited number of people come to the Zoom, and then we broadcasted the Zoom live on YouTube. So anyone could come in and join. You know, you didn't have to commit to coming the whole time. If you're on YouTube, you can just pop in, pop out, whatever you want to do. And then the people on Zoom were there with me the whole time. They were on camera. They got to show off their garments. So it wasn't just me speaking, which was really fun. You got to hear from other people sharing about the garments that they had made. And I made sure to link all their projects. Anyway, it was just really different and really fun. I really enjoyed it. And so we might be doing more events similar to that in the future. So since the fall garment make-along is over, we have another make-along coming up the day after Thanksgiving, November 26th. We are starting Sockmas. So I have a whole video about Sockmas. I have a whole page on my website about Sockmas. Those will be linked down below so that you can go check them out. But we are doing a sock make-along from November 26th. I feel like that's the right date. Let me zoom out here on my calendar. November 26th. Yeah, that's where we're going to start. And we're going to have a cast on party on YouTube. And then we will end 3 weeks later on Friday, December 17th. So you have 3 weeks to knit or crochet a pair of adult socks. All of the rules are on knittynatty.com, but this is just another longer make-along, longer sock make-along than sock week, but Sockmas, and you can make any kind of socks you want. It doesn't have to be Christmas themed or winter themed or holiday themed or anything like that. Sockmas is just the fun, punny name that we came up with. However, if you use any of the sponsors' yarns or progress keepers, bags. We even have one more person coming on. Amy Kate, the Graceful Tangle, is designing some patterns, so I'll have information about that when the patterns come out. If you use any of those things, you get some bonus entries, and if you do any kind of winter yarn. So it's all laid out in the rules on the website and everything. So I'll let you go there to find out that information, but please join us for Sockmas. No planning required if you haven't. If you're like, I'm just now hearing about it, you can come in and join us as long as you're starting a brand new pair of socks on November 26th. But yes, please join me for the cast on party, which is going to be here on YouTube at 12 p.m. Eastern time on Friday, November 26th. So if you're not out Black Friday shopping, or if you were all night, stay up until 12 p.m., which is lunchtime. And hopefully you can, get away from your family for a minute and just cast on with me, and we're gonna have a fun time. We're just gonna chill, hang out, and chat like we always do. I have a new video that just came out this Tuesday, all about planning my projects. Like I said, I was getting organized over the weekend. I made that whole list on my phone of what I need to do for a long summer cardigan. I was in a very planning mood because I have X number of things to accomplish before December. Come December 1st, it's me and Advent and me and Sockmas, and we are gonna enjoy the heck out of some yarn in December and be very selfish and knit and crochet and have a fun time. And record Vlogmas, and it's just like, it's a special time of the year, and I'm like, okay, I need to get as much as I can done before then so I can truly enjoy it. So this video is all about planning November and December projects along with Advent. I've got lots of different ideas for Advent projects. If you're still looking for some, you can do blankets, socks, shawls. I'm gonna even do a sweater this year. It's gonna be amazing. Anyway, you can go watch that video. I'll have that one linked below too. And then last thing, I want to talk about my schedule moving forward. So next week is Thanksgiving. I will have a video on Tuesday. It's going to be a really good one. This past weekend, I went to the We Are Knitters pop-up shop in Soho. It's here in Manhattan in the Soho neighborhood. I'll talk more about that in just a second. But I went there, and I also got a video of the shop and got to talk to them, and so that's going to be a quick little video coming out this Tuesday. And then because Thursday's Thanksgiving, no podcast next week, but join me on Friday for the Sockmas cast on. And then after that, we are going straight into Vlogmas starting December 1st, and I think we'll have one more podcast that first week of December. And then other than that, it's like Vlogmas the rest of the year. So next week, Thanksgiving, no podcast, but we'll still have 2 videos because we'll have the We Are Knitters one on Tuesday, and then we'll have our Sockmas cast on party live on Friday at 12 p.m. noon. Okay, let's talk about life. So I want to share with you my We Are Knitters stuff because I had so much fun this past weekend. On Sunday, we went to, we meaning me, actually, Kent and I went and we did a video. We filmed a video, but then I went back a little bit later for a knitting party. And this was a smaller party with several different knitters and crocheters that are kind of like well-known on Instagram from around New York City, which was so cool because I had only met a few of them before. Some of them I knew from their Instagram, some were new to me, but it was so fun because we were sitting there working on our project and somebody would say, hey, I'm Natalie, I'm Knitty Natty. And then when they would say their Instagram name, we would all go, oh, I know who you are. But like we didn't know each other's, faces or first names. It's just so funny to live in that social world. But then when you actually meet in person, it's even more special because you're like, oh my gosh, I've been a fan of your, Instagram and your YouTube and all of this, like that's you. And it's just so fun to put a name to a face. I'll have the whole video about We Are Knitters coming out, but I wanted to show you this little kit that we did. So We Are Knitters is really great for a knitter of any level. I think they also do crochet and maybe even some more things, but they are really well known for putting together these kits that have the yarn, the needles, everything that you need in it. So it's kind of fun if you want to, maybe teach somebody to knit. You could get them a kit for Christmas. So we had this snood that we were making, which is basically just a big cowl. This is what I got done in 2 hours. talking and making reels. You might have seen some reels we made on Instagram. And so I had not knit on straight needles in so long. And so it was super awkward at first. I was trying to knit with the straight needles. I mean, can't say that I'm a huge fan of knitting with straight needles, but it wasn't that bad. I also haven't knit on, these are 8mm, so size 11 needles. I have not knit on anything that big in a long time either, which was really funny. But I do like this yarn. It is called, come here. I just have everything in my kit still. It's called Double Trouble, and it is an alpaca cotton. So I think it's like a cotton cord and then blown alpaca. So it's very soft, very light, very nice to work with. So I've got the brown and the blue. But again, I'm not even sure if I'll finish this. Definitely not right now because I've got other projects that are a priority. So this is just gonna stay. I might just keep it until I like meet someone that wants to learn to knit or something like that. And then it also gave us a couple of cute things. A tote bag. I'm sure these are all things that you can purchase. If you're in New York City or visiting New York City, they are going to be there till January something. I can't remember, but you should definitely go to the pop-up shop and visit. If you are not in New York City, you can visit them online and I believe order online. This beautiful book that is just so pretty, but it also has like techniques in it. Double stranded knitting, and I believe it has some patterns. Yeah, some patterns in it. So that's such a pretty and gorgeous book. And then also a cute t-shirt that I need to wash. Do you wash your clothes before you wear them? I always wash mine before I wear them. Look. Look at those little sheep. I don't know. That's actually really funny. I hadn't unfolded it until then. Oh my gosh. Mom and Dad, do you think I should wear this shirt? My dad would be like horrified. That's really cute on the back. All their stuff is really like punchy and cute and funky and cool. And they have like beautiful, bright, thick yarns. And it's just really fun, really trendy, perfect for the Soho neighborhood in Manhattan. And anyway, it was really cool. So look out for that video that's coming up. So I had so much fun like hanging out with people in person. I am really lucky because I get to hang out and knit almost like several times a week, almost every week online on Zoom with people. But I haven't done, I think I've done like 2 in-person, maybe 2 or 3 in-person events here in New York City so far in the 7 or 8 months that I've been here. And so when I went on Sunday, I was like, oh my gosh, I have missed, you know, going in person to something and just meeting new people. It was really fun. And so I'm excited because I'm going to another event. This one is just hosted by a group of friends here in New York City. And so I know the host and I know somebody that's coming, and then I don't think I know anyone else that's going. So it'll be fun. I'll get to like meet some new people. But we're going to meet at just like a local place here in the city and knit on Saturday. So I'm excited for that. It's very fun. And then, okay, what else is coming up? Thanksgiving is coming up next week. We are staying here. I think we're going to be doing a Friendsgiving. I'm also going to be taking time off, which I don't think I've ever done before. You know, when I was working last year, of course, I had time off from my school teaching job, but I honestly, in the 3-4 years I've been doing Knitty Natty, I've never been like, this is a week off or this is a day or time off. It's like, I've definitely taken time off because I just couldn't do my job, but I don't think I've ever planned for it. So now that I am officially my own boss, I'm trying to be a better one. And I'm trying to be more scheduled and more intentional. And so I am taking off Tuesday to Thursday of next week. And mostly Friday too, except I'm going to do the Sockmas event, which will just be like a part of the day and super fun. So it's really not a big deal. So yeah, I'm going to be like working really hard on Monday, getting everything prepared so that my video can go live Tuesday. And then I am going to be like probably having to hide my computer from myself, put a sheet over my monitor so that I don't work. You'll probably still see me on Instagram stories. I might do a post or two, but I won't be answering emails or maybe even DMs for a while. I just need a break for at least a little bit of time. And my mom is so great. She follows me and she follows now like a lot of different bloggers and stuff. And so she'll tell me like, you know, I just really respect like this influencer because she's so organized, and she says, hey, coming up, like I have this, this, and this, and then I'm going to be taking a break. So don't be surprised if you don't see me. So she was like, make sure you tell everyone that you're not going to be around next week so that they don't expect you to answer emails or DMs. And I was like, you're right, Mom. I should definitely tell that because, again, I'm trying to be a better boss to myself and in turn take care of me so I can take care of y'all and continue to do all of the fun stuff that I have planned. So that's my announcement that I'm taking next week off, and you won't see a podcast. I already told you that you won't see a podcast next week. Okay. Bringing me joy. I am so happy to be getting my knitting mojo back. I haven't had a podcast in a couple weeks because after shawlography, I was just like, bleh, like I don't even know what to work on. Like I casted on those helical socks and just, I don't know. I was kind of chaotic. And so I'm really glad I got everything organized. I'm feeling motivated by my knitting again. I mean, I was like pushing the deadlines on Rhinebeck sweaters, pushing the deadlines on shawlography. And then when it came to like just creating my own deadlines again, I was like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to work on. So I feel good about that because I'm back into the groove. I'm also really excited because tomorrow's Wednesday. I have Wednesday set aside to do private lessons, and I haven't had a super ton in the past few months. And for some reason tomorrow I have a bunch of lessons, and it makes me so happy because I'm going to be doing all these really fun things with several different people tomorrow, teaching them different techniques and working with them on their projects. And I am a teacher by heart, and so this makes me really, really happy. So I'm excited for all of those things coming up, and I'm also excited for taking intentional time off next week. So that'll be good. That's lots of things that bring me joy. All right, everyone, I will see you next week on Tuesday with a We Are Knitters video. Don't forget, put it in your calendars on Friday the 26th at 12 p.m. Eastern time to come meet me back here on YouTube live. It's going to be so much fun for the cast on party for Sockmas. It feels like, wow, already a week away from casting on new socks. I need to get busy with my other projects. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.